you've worked with all kinds of actors as compared to, say, a Salman Khan from earlier movies. Do you see a difference that the exposure they've seen, the things they've learned?
No, I feel that now the cinema has changed. Directorial techniques have changed. The director now looks at cinema in India differently.
Heeramandi released first when it came, and I first time heard that Mr. Bhansali's show is going to come on Netflix. I was asking that how did he agree to come on Netflix?
A filmmaker, if his work is seen, you feel satisfied, you feel satiated, you feel your hard work has been it's been worth it.
This came immediately after Gangubai. What is it about these women and courtesans that fascinates you about such story? I know Moin Beg's concept this was. What fascinates you about these women?
These women are, number one, beautiful women. These women are very, very sophisticated and trained in etiquette, and they knew the art of living in terms of poetry, they knew tradition, they knew classical dancing, classical music.
This is a very special interview with Mr. Sanjay Leela Bhansali. सर मुझे 24 साल हो गए ये करते करते, और आज पहली बार मौका है आपके साथ बैठ के बात करने का. सो आई एम गोइंग टू मेक द मोस्ट ऑफ इट.
बट ये 24 साल में पहला इंटरव्यू कर रहे हैं आप मेरे साथ, वो गलती आपकी कि मेरी?
सर आपकी सर, क्योंकि आपने समय नहीं दिया.
You have come for the first time to say can we do something?
Yeah, that's true, sir. I'll take the blame for that. Right. So, Heeramandi released first when it came, and I first time heard that Mr. Bhansali's show is going to come on Netflix. I was asking that how did he agree to come on Netflix? Because you are a filmmaker who puts in so much details in your set and everything. बड़े screen पर लोग देखते हैं. Are you okay people watching on their iPad and phones and all that?
Yes, absolutely. As long as they watch. A filmmaker, if his work is seen, you feel satisfied, you feel satiated, you feel your hard work has been it's been worth it. And today's time, when if I make a film, it's going to release in X number of countries. Whereas if I do something on an OTT platform, and if Netflix, the way they went releasing it, the release that they did with 190 countries, and my film would have never reached 190 countries. So when your work is reaching so many people around the world, and if they connect to it, then nothing like it. Then you are reaching so many homes, millions of homes, and then the fun of it is also, I feel an image is an image. आप इसको छोटे फोटोग्राफ में देखो, या फोटोग्राफ को आप बड़े एग्जीबिशन में देखो, या उसको बड़े प्रोजेक्ट करके देखो, कोई इमेज तो इमेज ही है. तो आप मेरा फोन पे जब देखेंगे ट्रेन में, और दे विल फील दैट अरे वी आर वाचिंग अ 70 mm spectacular piece. Look at the joy that they will feel when they watch. Why will I deprive that? I mean, there's a lot of thought that, but why are you wasting so much time in detailing? तो फोन पे देखेंगे लोग मोस्टली तो आईपैड पे देखेंगे तो इतना होता है, या अपने लैपटॉप पे देखेंगे. बट लोग बड़े स्क्रीन पे भी देख सकते हैं, या छोटे स्क्रीन पे भी देख सकते हैं. देखेंगे, और जब अच्छी चीज़ हो तो वो फ़ोन पे भी वो इतना यूज टू होता है देखने को, वो सारी डिटेल्स देख लेता है.
Right.
और आपकी डिटेलिंग में मज़ा है, एंड इफ देयर इज detailing in your detailing, then it will reach people.
Right.
So you must not worry about how is your film being watched or where. It could be watched in a small mohalla on a screen, my film. But now it could be watched in a small craggy lane in a city, projected on a रास्ते में लोग बैठ के देखते हैं, या थिएटर में देखे, या LA की बड़ी स्क्रीनिंग में देखे लोग देखे. When that is the joy for the actors, for the technicians, all of us who work on a film, people should be seen and they should enjoy it in every format. And with times, the format keeps changing. You have to change with times.
Right. So, every actor, I interviewed all your actors together also, separately also, before the release. सब बात कर रहे थे, how you notice everything, whether there are 600 people standing, किसी की टोपी पीछे अलग हो जाए तो आप ध्यान देते हो, and then you take up music on yourself, you take up editing on yourself. Do you sometimes feel, will Mr. Bhansali ever let a shot pass saying, चलो चल जाएगा?
Oh, that's blasphemy. That is committing a sin for me.
Right.
If to the best of your ability that shot has to be done, that is why I feel I've done less work over the last 30 years that I am here.
Yeah.
I've done 10 films.
Yeah.
And give everything to that one shot. That shot is God's gift to you. For so many years, you've seen your father dreaming of wanting you to make a film, and then you struggle. And at the age of 36, you get your first chance to make a film. It has come with so much. I'm not an insider. I'm from the outside of the industry. So everything you value so much, every shot, that one shot matters so much, that to compromise with it is a sin which I would never forgive myself of. I would never want to be able to, on my last breath, to be able to say, I'm sorry I missed out those 5 shots. No question of it. That's one moment where I want to look up into the eyes of the person coming to take me, which is God, which I hope that I did it well.
Right.
The rest I don't know.
Right.
But my work I did well. My shot, you can never go. And I feel people appreciate that.
Right.
People are loving me, giving me love. Not necessarily that everybody likes my work. There are a lot of people who don't like my work. There are a lot of people who love my work. But they react to me, they care for me because of that love for one shot.
Right. Yeah, sir, आजकल तो internet, when this releases, इतना feedback आता है social media पे. Everyone in this room outside is going through Instagram. क्या कोई बोल रहा है, memes बन रहे हैं. Where do you get your feedback from? Do you see all this noise?
No. I keep asking people in the office, Namrata who's handling PR or my CEO Prerna, क्या response है? किसी ने message किया, कौन क्या बोला? Then they'll show me some 2 things. They'll forward me 1 or 2 messages, or they'll forward me some clippings of this is trending here, or this is hash. I can't understand hashtag from tag from hash. So I can't understand. मतलब होता क्या है? इसने पोस्ट किया, इसकी स्टोरी है, ये मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. मैं YouTube पे जाता हूँ, कभी कभी वो रील्स देखता हूँ मैं, वहाँ तक समझ में आता है. बट बाकी जो रिव्यूज़ अच्छे नहीं होते तो मैं स्किप जल्दी कर जाता हूँ. मैं आफ्टर रिलीज फॉर अ फ्यू डेज आई डोंट address it because I know some will like, some will not like. I have done my best, and I am very answerable to myself and my God. And my blessings that I have. मैं इससे better कर नहीं सकता था. तो आपको नहीं पसंद है तो ठीक है, पसंद है तो सर आपको पे हम grateful audience माँ बाप होती है. हर रिव्यू जो करता है वो important है because वो आपका नज़रिया है, वो आपकी पर्सनल चॉइस है. हाँ, आप उस चॉइस को एक्सरसाइज करके लोगों को कंडीशन करने की कोशिश करते हो कि आप मत देखो बिकॉज इट इज़ नॉट वर्थ इट. दैट डजंट कम इन योर राइट एज अ रिव्यूअर टू डू इट. बट अ गुड रिव्यू और अ बैड रिव्यू, आई इग्नोर इट ऑल. आई get an understanding of how is it being liked, is being loved, okay, fine, leave it. And not to take no failure, no success too seriously. I've seen the film industry's biggest failures in Khamoshi, Savariya, they were the biggest box office disasters according to a lot of trade people. And I've also seen the biggest success in Padmavat and now Heeramandi and all that. So it's all about your time zone, the kind of connection people have for you, your commitment, how much have you sacrificed and made that piece work, whether it's Padmavat being physically assaulted or whatever. You just keep going and doing what you have to do. And then leave the rest. So I don't allow that noise from the social media to, it's better to stay away.
Right. No, and good, and that, that shows in your work, sir. Sir, this came immediately after Gangubai. What is it about these women and courtesans that fascinates you about such story? I know Moin Beg's concept this was. What fascinates you about these women? A lot of people say this, they were suffering and they were not, they are being glorified. But some also, I saw the reply, some said very clearly that they were queens of their time with so much wealth. How do you see these women?
These women are, number one, beautiful women. These women are very, very sophisticated and trained in etiquette, and they knew the art of living in terms of poetry. They knew tradition, they knew classical dancing, classical music, but they also had stories of suffering, of going through a lot of turmoil. And that was the fun of showing them all dressed in those diamonds and rich silks, only to what their eyes were saying something else. They had their own inner politics. They had to fight as much to survive as a middle class woman would be or a lower class woman would be. A woman or a man has to survive, and they go through their own struggles. You, yours, me, mine. So I have not only shown the glamorous part. There is a lot of inner suffering of every close-up, of every move, of why she is reacting like this, because what she went through, or what she wants to achieve, or to stand by the tradition of every daughter has to be a tawaf as she in generation, and the girl protesting and saying, I don't want to. So as a mother, she gives a supreme sacrifice of getting us the kid out of the... So these were all turmoil stories that we created, some from hearsay, some from real characters. My work is not supposed to be seen as if rooted in reality in a documentary on Lahore and Heeramandi. It's impression of Lahore, it's impression of Heeramandi, it's impression of courtesans and living that life. I cannot understand how it can be realistic because I have not lived in that era. I have not seen that world. I cannot document it as clearly as Heeramandi today is different from Heeramandi in the 30s and 20s. So when you're creating a work of fiction, it is just to create an experience for you to say what maybe those women went through. And that is the joy of making the kind of filmmaking that I make. I like to create an atmosphere and an impression on your mind of what I perceive that moment to be. And these women fought for freedom. They were all trapped. Gangubai is trapped, or Mastani was trapped, or women who are used for their beauty or for their bodies and have to survive because of that are women who want to escape that lack of dignity. And lack of dignity means is the worst punishment granted to a human being, because dignity is every human being's right. Every woman should be granted a dignity. And which is what Gangubai said. That even if I am, because of whatever circumstances, forced into prostitution, then be proud. I'm proud that I'm a prostitute. I give my profession dignity. I will do it with commitment. So these women, when they found a purpose in azadi and freedom, people should understand that these are multi-layered women. They're just not about clothes and fancy songs and song picturization. There's a lot more.
Well, in fact, you show what happens to Manisha, and then that scene below the fountain is such a strong scene. So, all the actors I spoke about how collaborative you are. I don't know what impression you have of Mr. Bhansali, but I want, and he let me...
Who said this?
Richa said in the interview.
Richa is such a great actor that you have to give her an instruction of saying you have to walk from here to here. Perfume, hawa mein डाला, फिर perfume के अंदर से आप जाओ. She doesn't spray it on herself, and she walks through that perfume. And now you do it your way. And then she would do it her way. She had her own walk, her own mannerisms, her own way of putting that perfume onto her from the air. So that is the space I give you to interpret my instruction. Actor would actually mean to say that, especially because it's a very collaborative effort. We sit on a table, we discuss what is the scene. You want to say this, you don't feel like saying this. No, I feel a little hesitant. Okay, then how do you want to say it? Okay, but I know the shot division. I know the set how the set has to be dynamized. What are the moments that have to be achieved? Like you walk in between. She says, okay, look at him one last time. Suddenly out of the blue, I said, just laugh and don't look at him. And then she walked out, and when she did it, I clapped because. So, but you can't say that you thought of laughing, but you were told. But how brilliantly she did it, how spontaneously and unpredictably she did it. She's or all my actors. They have given the space and the freedom, because if I don't use your mind and your inner abilities to express yourselves bodily, physically, mentally, speech, all that, a director should never tell them how to do it. That space, that give and take of freedom in that sense, I don't feel like saying it. I feel like doing this. Can I start from walking from here? Okay, fine, because I realized that I need to get that actor to that particular moment. Okay, you walk from there. So we are collaborative. We all stand by each other, we all create together, but freedom only to the extent of how freedom should be understood by... I hope it's clear.
Yes, it is absolutely clear. So do you see a big difference in the younger lot of actors, say when you work with, say, Alia and Aditi, as compared to, you've worked with all kinds of actors, as compared to, say, a Salman Khan from earlier movies. Do you see a difference that the exposure they've seen, the things they've learned?
No, I feel that now the cinema has changed, directorial techniques have changed. The director now looks at cinema in India differently. The script writer is writing different and more varied roles, in more different roles, in more unusual roles. great time for Indian cinema, great films being made, wonderful work being done. Those days they had to do those peculiar 90s and 80s cinema, which was limiting to a certain extent. But these actors then were also fantastic, and the sur and the note at which Devdas was performed, which is high pitch, which is operatic. That is so difficult for an actor. What Shah Rukh did, what Aishwarya did, what Madhuri did, and what Kiran Kher did. I mean, those are notes and surs which today's actor may actually not be able to actually deliver at that point. One, because it is a little unreal. Two, because it's a little, it demands a lot more understanding of the acting techniques for you, which Shah Rukh handled it so brilliantly. So that era of actors where the directors were demanding something else out of them. Today they are being told to underplay and be more subtle, which is also very nice. But I feel all actors that I've worked with have been absolutely delightful, wonderful. I've learned so much from all these actors that I've worked with for so many 30 years, and different kinds, from Seema Biswas, who was just absolutely spectacular as an actor, right up to Sharmin and Richa and Aditi and Manish, and this whole spectrum that I've gone through. It's been very special. So I've worked with and they're all different personalities, and I have brought into all of them a part of me, and I've taken a part of them into my characters, because they love me and I love them a little more than they love me.
They all say that, and they said, Sanjida told me, "Hamare sir बहुत cool hai." So they all say that. Sir, are you friends? Can I say, are you friends with your actors?
I love my actors. I'm saying that with actors, your relationship with actors should be not of friends. You have to love your actors. You have to love your characters that you're creating till then. The only person that I'm still friendly with is Salman. Even if inshallah didn't happen, he stands by me, he'll call me, he'll care for me. Are you okay? Did anything bro? You've goofed up, you've messed up. But I enjoy his humor so much. It comes once in 3 months, once in 5 months, it all comes, but it comes. Because he doesn't care about my film. He doesn't care about, he cares about me. Bro, you've not done so many films with me, doesn't matter. Are you okay? And that is what a true friend is all about. On work, we may have sparred and we may have not had our moment correct and didn't fall into place. But after 1 month, he's calling me and I'm calling him, and we talk. So that is where, then that is a friend. And in that sense, I'm fortunate enough to have that friend who once in 6 months we'll speak. But we'll exactly start from where we left. But mostly I love them when I'm working with them. Then I think they move on, they forget. You have to go. As an actor, you go to the next day, you're going to the next film. A director is sitting at home for 6 months working on the next one. So you feel lonely. Said, where did all those people go with me every day? So you feel that you should not take that too seriously. But you don't stop loving them, and you thank them because what they've done for you and created that character and made your cinema come alive. And you should always be grateful to them.
That's true. So the impression you have created, I interviewed all of them. They spoke so well about you. They spoke you really made an impact. You gave them firstly such beautiful roles, and you made an impact personally also. I could see that. Lastly, on behalf of all the fans, I would like to ask, they all watched Heeramandi, so they want to know, when is the part 2 coming? Will there be a season 2?
This fans should have to, first of all, thank you for loving season 1. But season 2 happens or not happens with Netflix announcing it if they want to go ahead with it. Finally, they are the producers, and they're the best producers ever I've worked with. In 30 years, I keep telling them, I said, I've done some good karma that I have had the chance to work with people like you all. But the decision to do season 2 comes from them, not from me.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. So I hope it doesn't take another 24 to sit with you and chat with you.
No, now that we've done, we will next time for sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.